Alright, if you want to get strong, let's say you weigh 130 right now, today, you weigh 130. You want to get your bench press that's, let's say it's at a 130 right now to a 135 next week. You can do that with these, these tips. Number one, what you want to do is you want to have compound lifts twice per workout. You want to have two compound lifts twice per workout. For example, if you're going to have a bench press, then you're going to want to have a close grip. If you want to have a squat, maybe you could have something like a lunge. If you're going to have a deadlift, and you could have something like maybe if it's let's just say you're doing sumo deadlift for better hits, basically. But if you're not, that's okay. You can do a deadlift and you can do pull-ups. If you're gonna do power clean, what you do with that is I would say hang clean, but yeah, I don't know. Actually, you could do hang clean on that day. And then what you want to do on each of those days. So let's say you have bench press. You have bench press and close grip. Those are your two compound lifts. Now you're going to want to have one isolation lift for each of the muscles that work out. For example, in the bench press, you work out your chest, your shoulder, and your tricep. And in the close grip, you work out the exact same thing, but now the emphasis is placed on the tricep instead of the chest and the shoulder, meaning that you would want to find isolation lifts that work out one of the muscles per day. For example, you could do you could do dips because those are only they only work out two muscle groups, and instead of I would consider an isolation workout a singular workout, a singular muscle, I mean, and a compound is three or more, in my opinion. So I'd say two is fine. If that's also fine, so you could do dips. You could do something like a shoulder press for the shoulders. So dips for the tricep, shoulder press for the shoulders, and then for the chest, what you can do is you could do something like literally just a dumbbell bench press, maybe something like that. But you don't really want to do it with the dumbbell bench press actually because that is the exact same. What you'd actually want to do is a chest fly. But I wouldn't do a chest fly as that is more of a bodybuilder kind of lift. Instead, you'd want to, especially because this is a more athletic workout that gets you lifting more weight, you'd want to find something like a chest fly, only work out the chest. And then for squat, deadlift, and power clean, you do the exact same formula. Next thing you want to do is you want to superset the compound lifts and the isolation lift. Meaning you basically just like what I was saying earlier is what that would be described as is supersetting. Like for example, if you're going to do a bench press and then right after that doing a close grip, since it works out all the same, or let's just say let's make this simpler. A bench press, then you do dips, and then you do a shoulder press, then that would mean that you're supersetting. Because you already worked out those muscles, you already worked out the chest, the shoulder, and the tricep, and now you're already working out the tricep and shoulder again, and which would basically be called a superset. And the second thing, third thing at least, would be don't stop going until you're finished with the entire workout. Until you're finished with the entire workout, don't stop. Like until you've done that very last set of Nordic curls, pull ups, curl ups, whatever it is, do not stop. Do not stop the workout. Keep going. And the fourth tip is do not do cardio beforehand. You can do cardio after it. Cardio after it. There is nothing bad with that. But you do not want to do cardio beforehand because it'll just make you too tired. Because especially this lift is already going to be making you very tired since you're going through the entire way. You're also going to find yourself getting very tired the first like 3 weeks. The first month, I'd say, you're going to find yourself getting very tired. You will get used to it and you get a lot of endurance with it. And then the fourth tip I have to say is do a warm up that consists of something like fast walking or footwork. It is so worth it. Trust me, it is insanely useful. You will practically never get injured again if you do stuff like warm ups and you do stuff that doesn't. I would also suggest actually never mind. But if you do warm ups that consist of really just anything, you don't want anything too intense, you don't want anything too low because then you get your heart warm. A fast walk would be like a medium pace. Let's say you walk at, let's just, for example, let's just say you walk 10 minutes a mile. And if you're walking extremely fast, you walk 5 minutes a mile, you're gonna want to find the in the middle basically. And then same thing with footwork. If you complete a ladder, if you do a ladder drill 5 times in a row and it takes you a minute to complete, minimum, and then a maximum of 5 minutes to complete, do like 2 minutes 30. So that's all you have to do. And my fifth tip, I would also say, is don't use stuff like belts or lifting straps, knee sleeves, or arm sleeves. I know that's gonna be terrible. It truly is gonna suck because this is a very controversial opinion. But you're wearing those things because your body cannot handle them. The reason you wear a belt is because your core, you don't know either how to brace your core or just simply your core is too weak to lift that kind of things. And usually, every single time somebody gets injured doing lifting weights, it's because they usually have some sort of belt or lifting strap on, or really any sort of things like that. It's because their body actually can't handle that weight. So doing that weight is going to cause you to get injured. So it's not very smart to do stuff like that. And also, I would suggest finding workouts that relate to real life things you're doing. The reason I was saying chest wise isn't really that good of a workout to do for a chest isolation is because you're not going to really be finding something that does this kind of motion really. You're never going to be doing that kind of motion, so try to find something that's like that motion. If you're a bodybuilder and simply just trying to find the kind of workout that gets you the highest amount of strength possible, basically. Not strength, but most amount of muscle possible because it has the most EMG activity. Then, you do you, but this is more tips tailored to athletic people, like athletic people who are playing sports right now, or maybe just want to have a faster run time, or they wouldn't be jogging for a long amount of time. This workout really applies to anybody. And what you can also do is when you start off, you can find your 1 rep maxes. What I'd suggest doing is you have a 1 week warm up period of really focusing on your form and doing the lightest weight possible, even just arm movement if you have to. Slow and controlled. You want to go slow on the decentric and then fast on the eccentric. But uh, um, when you're practicing before you actually start to get good at form, you want to just go slow both ways to get good at the form, and then once you get good with the form, which is like a week later, then you can start practicing going slow and then fast. That'll always be usually the best for your body. And really, if you do that, you will get probably the best results ever. I guarantee you, if you are following what all I just said, you will get a 130. Let's say your 130 body weight, and you have a 130 bench press. Then I guarantee that bench press will at least go up by 2.5 pounds. Which again, that may not even sound like that much, but 2.5 pounds, that's 2.5 pounds more than we could have lifted before. And I don't know if you've ever maybe tried lifting a 2.5 pound plate, especially if you've never worked out before. It's decently heavy. But yeah, that's really all it is. And then you can follow any sort of program you want. Just these tips are more isolated, and there are also more tips for a program thing. But these tips are more isolated towards athletes. But hey, if you're not an athlete and you just want to do this kind of thing, that's amazing for you, and that's amazing for you, and that's great. But if you're a bodybuilder trying to build muscle, I would still suggest some of these tips, but some of these tips maybe wouldn't be that good if you're trying to build muscle because of the recovery aspect. So it really just depends. I'd say if you're an athlete, it's perfect. If you're not an athlete and you just want to get faster, stronger, more explosive, then yeah, also do this. But if you're just purely looking for muscle, I wouldn't really suggest doing this. At least everything I've given here, but that's my take on some of the stuff I've given you here. And I will